I don't wanna feel it if it don't feel right. I just wanna break the ice. There's so much more to life than tears. There's so much more to life than fears. All I want is a night off. All I need is a night off. All I want is a night off. Ooh.
Welcome to EUCF 2024 here in Belgium. We're here in the mixed division as PELT take on Disconnection from Germany. And these teams got here due to the algorithm they qualified this way. But we have somebody boosted up to the comedy ranks due to fantastic performances at the likes of CFC, Liam Grant, alongside the great Christian Gaffney. So good to have you here, Chris.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Yes, I see us as two big names in the beach ultimate scene. I'm looking to make a name for myself in the commentary scene as well. So show me the ropes, Liam.
It's where all the best ultimate players go to die.
Exactly, exactly. And what a beautiful death it is. We are loose here on Friday at EUCF. Early start to the tournament. Both these teams have played one game already, with Disconnection winning big 15-10 against Heck, PELT losing to Deep Space 14-11.
And PELT were up 11-10 in that game.
Is that true?
Yeah, I found that out. And Deep Space, the reigning mixed champions, so good result. You may be thinking PELT here, very Irish weather conditions. Maybe that was helping them out a bit this morning. Kind of a star-studded roster, this Disconnection team. Definitely some up-and-coming names. You mentioned Daniel Turk started the game. Also, legends like Philip Haas still knocking around. It's an impressive roster.
It is, definitely. Keep an eye on number 21, Daniel Turk, a.k.a. Danny Dimes, known for his beautiful throws. And Joanna Erdmann, number 35, the up-and-coming athlete. And here we're off. Freiburg starting on offense for the first point of the game. We're underway. Lasse Hugin with the disc, the old veteran handler, getting us started to Arne Gross, the big man, number 53. Taking the bump, sending it back. Freiburg unfazed by the win so far. Looking comfortable. Working up the far sideline. That's Rühle with the disc, finding Hogan. A beautiful breakside cut. They're knocking on the deck, knocking on the door. Lasse with the disc, every other. Beautiful mixed ultimate here. Not a lot of pressure from PELT so far. And Freiburg unfazed by the wind. 2 meters out. Oh no, and there's our first turn of the game. A drop.
An unforced error from the Germans. There wasn't a lot of pressure coming from PELT. Doing that forced backhand. I was expecting to come down with their trademark zone. Didn't happen. Disconnection were kind of working it well, but it kind of just an unforced error. And it's not as windy as the west as we saw earlier on today. It's a little bit of a gap in the tough weather conditions. Let's see if PELT can capitalise and get a first break opportunity. Kelly looking for George Hudson. Playing it.
Looks like the defense going force backhand, trying to get them trapped on that low side of the field. Arne Gross, German for big, the perfect name. He's got it on the disc, got it on the goal line. And that is a cute little mini dominator for the score. Freiburg able to punch it in with Lasse Hugin doing work on that point. 1-0 with the hold, although it was a bit shaky, Liam, wasn't it?
They start off the point so well in their first kind of offense possession right up to the end zone. Then it's just an unforced error, but Yeah, that kind of person defense, not putting a lot of pressure on Disconnection. Very comfortable working to this side to side there. It is still quite windy, but it didn't look like it from their throws. Well executed. And a good start there. You saw PELT had a break opportunity. They kind of swung it around. Did not look as comfortable. You're probably looking at a D line like that. Send it. Send it. Make them work the whole way up again at least, or take a shot to the end zone. I'm not sure if this PELT team is going to play like possession offense on their D line. I just go back to what they do best and lashing it.
Grip it, rip it, ship it.
I think that's the way to do it.
I agree. Speaking of shaky starts, Liam, tell me how you got here today.
Yeah, I've just flown in from Sydney, Australia.
Wow.
Sydney, Dubai, Dublin, and then I had about 6-7 hours to my flights in Dublin, but not enough to actually bother leaving the airport. So I slept about 3 hours in Dublin. But yeah, I've spent maybe 3 hours in the last 40. It wasn't too long ago I was having breakfast with a few koalas, but now here in windy, wet Belgium, as you see, Andrew Mead sporting his little towel sticking out of his pants there. He's someone they're going to look to quite a lot as he's in this here now. As we see Tino, as he's affectionately known, working a lot, and this is a bit of a dominator now from the PELT team. McAllister, low disc, being called up by Mead. Groundskeepers have the grass well cut here. And a good start to this possession from PELT. McKeown, Mead, McAllister just moving the disc quickly.
Looks like it was retracted by the first person who called it and then recalled by someone else on the field who thought they had a good perspective. Discussion underway. Mead doing nice work at this point, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think that suits him. I'm not sure if it was maybe just a loose match defense. Not sure if it was zone from Freiburg, but giving the handlers a lot of space just to take easy yards. And that one looks like it's going to be maybe contested. It was very close. Don't think we got a good look at it here. So it seems like I think it was a fair call, fair contest. McAllister holstering. Had a hammer shot, getting high in the stall count now, you'd imagine. McKeown with a big buttery break and hits her sister. Beautiful combination there, and that's Aoife McKeown with the first goal for PELT.
Well done. Yeah, it looked like Freiburg came out in a little bit of a zone or a clammy lane poach at the beginning, just trying to junk things up a bit. PELT responded well, broke through, and got the nice clean first hold. The weather is the story of this weekend so far. You talked about how this is a bit of Irish weather. Fun fact about Freiburg is that it has the most sunshine of any city in Germany, which all these Freiburgers are keen to tell you the first time you talk about their beloved little city. So I wonder if this overcast, this wind, will hurt their sunny spirits.
Can't say the same for Limerick. Not exactly famed for the sunshine.
But certainly you would think PELT would be better prepared with their rain pants, galoshes, and the like.
Yeah, I think I'm so surprised we haven't seen the zone yet. That's what I was thinking. I think looking at this line here now with big Mark Fanning on line for PELT, maybe with their 4 male matching players in line, probably more likely to see a zone from PELT.
Well, let's see how it plays out. That's a nice deep pull, fielded off the ground, and a nice low grab to keep possession there. The two handlers already have a ton of touches in this game. Hogan and Turk working together in the middle. And it looks like we do have our zone coming out from PELT. We got a standing the lane. Oh, and there's Katja Weigel in the deep, deep space. They send it, but it's very floaty. Might not even stay in. And the bigger defender gets it.
Yeah, PELT would be delighted with that choice. That hawk just difficult executing this wind. That's what they're forcing to do. And that's that FSU, they call it PELT, that kind of 3-3-1 forcing middle, which is, we've seen so many Irish teams play it. The Irish women's team played it when they won the European Championships. They've seen a lot of teams rebel as well that play that style of zone. This is their second break opportunity now, PELT. You maybe want to see him shoot to the end zone, and here it is. This one's going to be difficult to run down. Emma does her best. I like the choice, but just a little too far ahead. But, you know, at least not giving them a short field turnover like last time. Make them work the whole way up again.
I like the shot too. They took your advice. They put it in the end zone. You love shots on goal. That one didn't work out, but there was a receiver there, and I like the option. So going back against this zone that you talked about before, the 3-3-1. Last time they were sort of ignoring the deep space of Katja Weigel. Let's see if that's a viable option again for Freiburg or not. A floaty disc to the far side, well brought in. Arne Gross with the disc on the far sideline, the low sideline of the field. That's the one that you're going to get more easily trapped on. Floaty disc, but Katja Weigel brings it in. Simon Jesse with the disc. Back to Hogan. A nice dump swing like they tell you how to do it in the textbooks. Kemma up to Hogan. Back to Jesse, doing well to break through this zone. Lasse Hogan with the disc is, I'd say, a great anti-zone player. He'll play right through that cup. He loves the small ball. Oh, and that's a sick layout D. Well done. Who was that, Liam?
That is Brian O'Sullivan, the big man with the big shovel hands, comes flying in, and he felt there was options for that to happen. Freiburg were throwing cross field through the middle of the zone a number of times, and they were threading the needle, but eventually big shovel hands O'Sullivan denies them that. Linkenhag back with Sexton. Gets the undershot. Well, that is a wild swing to Hannah Wilson because she can't read it and adjust. And that's what PELT want to do, giving a short field turn.
Here we see Freiburg with the short field. Old shovel hands not able to get it on this one. Lasse Hogan sliding nicely on the wet grass and a very casual score. That was to Susanna Votio. Very nice play. And another dirty hold for Freiburg. They're getting it done, but not making it look super easy on these first passes. Well done from PELT to put the pressure on.
Yeah, I think PELT will be happy with their defense so far. I think they've had 3 break opportunities in this game so far. Haven't really been able to convert any of them. Don't look super confident their D-line offense at the moment. You know, if they connect on that deep shot, that was a wild swing where, you know, gave Freiburg a short field. PELT didn't go with their zone, and they look so comfortable, Freiburg, against that match defense. Able to score with ease there.
Now I'm interested, and I'm sure the viewers are at home as well, how this man got the nickname Shovel Hands.
I just made that up right now.
You just made that up.
Well, I call him that because he's massive. I have big hands, and he has big Irish farmer hands. He has hands so big that...
How big are they?
They look uncomfortable catching a frisbee. I think he actually turns over to this somewhat. Sometimes his hands are too big. They don't really fit around it.
Sort of the basketball player who can't shoot his free throws.
Yeah,
because the mitts are too large.
Yeah, that's what I think about Brian. But it's good at getting layout blocks. School teacher and one of the tournament directors with us at Siege Events, run stuff like European Championships and World Masters.
Well, that was a beautiful block there on that first tee for him. They have thrown it right away, given the disc to Freiburg in the short field, which is what you do not want to do on a windy day. Floaty disc goes up to the corner, reeled in. That's by number 45. Franziska Feldhahn, and that's the first break of the game. Freiburg up.
Yeah, Christine McKeown just not hitting her connection, and that's the first break opportunity for Freiburg, and they score immediately. And the pool noodles are out. It's a poor attempt at a golf club, I think that was. What was that?
Shanked it, I think. Yep. Stick to frisbee. So here's what I can tell you about Discon, as they're known in the abbreviated TV over here. Disconnection's been sort of the perennial best mixed team in Germany for the past couple of years. I believe they got 5th at this tournament last year. They're contenders, I'd say, to win the tournament. They're always up there playing hard against the best teams. They're under new leadership this year. They had sort of a long run by their old captain, Ali. The team decided to vote in some new leadership, so I think their sets are different, their style is different, but the players are the same. and they're looking to make a big run at this tournament, despite a sort of bevy of close losses in their regular season. What do you think about their chances, Liam?
Looking at Philip Haas there, one of the former next-gen players on the field for Disconnection. I guess we can call him last-gen now at this stage.
Yes. 2 generations ago, maybe.
Yeah. McAllister in power position and moving the zone with their hands there. And there's a shot from me. Doesn't hesitate. McAllister runs it down with ease. A nice clean hole for Pelt. Christy McAllister. Great for chasing down hooks and making a nice cup of coffee as well. Has his own little coffee shop in Limerick.
Tell me about this enigma of a man, Andrew Mead. He's the man with the green towel. In commentary source, all it says is age 31. He keeps a low profile. What do you know about him?
Yeah, been a centre handler for Pelt for a long time. Andrew Mead, affectionately known as Spider Pig at times, but been playing a long time. Played a lot of Open with Pelt back when Pelt Open were good. And yeah, kind of just a centre handler, big backhands, big flick hooks. That's what he likes to do. A pure offensive player.
A man after my own heart.
Yeah, big Limerick man, big into his hurling and his ga. He's not a typical frisbee player in terms of his style and who he hangs out with. He's a bit more rough and tumble, you know.
Oh, rough and tumble.
Yeah.
The other side of the tracks.
Yeah.
The kids my mom tells me not to hang out with.
Yeah, he's the pure Limerick man now.
Okay. I'll keep a wide berth. So we see this Freiburg offense back on the field, looking to keep their advantage. I don't think they have a clean hold yet. They're going the other way for the first time. Let's see how it plays out. Looks like a classic zipper to start. Oh, and that is very tight. Well defended by number 1. Danny Dimes winds up on both sides, holsters both, and a floaty disc. There's a little bit of contact under the disc. Held on well. That was well reeled in by Hennig Nova. Turk with the disc. Beautiful around backhand. Continuing up the break side, a bit floaty. Oh, and what a play! It bounces off the hands of the defender. Jess Rula holds on to it. Well brought in. That's the play so far of the point. The Hinterläufe, as it's known in Germany, the behind cut. Playing this handler small ball. Oh, and that's a big body. Big Arne Gross. Leading with the shoulder on Maroney. Foul on somebody.
How's that play a second ago? It kind of body rolled off Giza Wild and actually helped out Disconnection. It was bizarre.
Looked like almost a bit of a freestyle ultimate happening here on the pitch. And that is a low around throw, worked up the break side the entire time from this Freiburg team. Liam, what's the definition of a clean hold? If it bobbles off the defense, does it count?
That is a clean hold, and particularly using their female matching players a lot on the break side there, Freiburg getting some good connection downfield. There was a lot of Pelt players causing some confusion downfield and really getting up amongst it, but couldn't get the disc off Disconnection.
Yeah, that was Jess Rühle who caught the score. She was part of this EUC team, the Germany women's team that won Europe last year, so she's no stranger to victory. Knows what it takes and kept possession there. Liam, what would you say Pelt's aspirations are at this tournament?
Yeah, well, look, they were 11-10 up against last year's champions, Deep Space, so as we see, using the break side so well there. That is beautiful backhand breaks, and they did it a couple of times in that possession. Yeah, I think Pelt will compete against any team here. And the mixed division is a bit loose. I think, you know, looking at Open and Women's, I'd be pretty confident picking the majority of quarter teams. Mixed, it's all up there. It's kind of the same in the US as well. I think they showcase that. Particularly with these weather conditions, can be a little spicy. Mead in power position. Holtzes that one. McAllister gesticulating towards his own field, and that one just comes straight out of the honey pot. And this is, you know, again Pelt to a short field turnover. Break opportunity for Freiburg.
And that's Ollie Young with the disc, the old leader. Oh, and he threads the needle in very tight space. There's a bump between the two Freiburg players, but number 10, Philip Kitchen, holds on to it. Well done there by Kitchen. What I like there on the defense is they had the advantage of the wind at their back, and they were really taking away the unders, forcing that deep shot to come, and when that pressure built from the no unders, there was just a little bit of a miscommunication in the handler space. Freiburg now up 2 breaks in this game in the early going.
Yeah, and again, a short field turnover, PELT. I think that's 5-2 is the score now, and, you know, PELT, I think that's 2 from 2 in break opportunities for Freiburg, if my memory serves me correctly, and just, yeah, short field turnover from PELT and scoring straight away. And I think PELT have actually created more defensive pressure throughout the game at times, but unable to capitalize and unable to convert. Freiburg have gotten 2 kind of gifts and just taken them straight away and punishing this PELT side, but it's no good putting pressure if you can't turn that into actual scores and break points. And
yeah.
You think Disconnection can win this? Would you pick them for semis?
I haven't picked anyone for the semis because I like to be friends with everyone. My thing is being loved by all. So I can't make any firm commitments on that front, but the story of this year's mixed division, I think, is the team out of Munich, Tiefseetausche. They have taken sort of the international crown this year, and they're the favorites. But Freiburg, I think they're here to play spoiler, and I think they could win it all.
And foul downfield, McAllister and...
And his defender.
Yeah, can't see his number there. A bit of discussion, a bit of collision downfield, and looks like they're trying to figure out how much contact they're happy with and who initiated. That really reminds me of that play in the women's final at Worlds here when it was Manu Cardenas and Claire. There was a big collision downfield. They just ran into each other.
Claire Trope?
Claire Trope, yeah. It was Claire Trope, but they're just one of those things where someone's taking off, someone's trying to hold a position, they just collide downfield and catches one with his knees initially, then kind of kicks it up into his hands. Some good Gaelic football skills from McAllister. Mead with the slide tackle now. Martin. Big Ben Martin hasn't had too much influence yet. Now with a beautiful leading pass to Wilson. McAllister looking towards the end zone, rips one straight into the Disconnection defender.
That was Kuna with the disc, number 69. She's only been playing Ultimate for 4 years. She's a cyclist otherwise, but showing there that she's a quick learner, making a big impact on defense already. And Freiburg with yet another chance for a break. A classic zipper play goes deep to Admon, the fastest woman in Germany as she's known. But as she'll tell the handlers, it's got to be in bounds and she'll do the rest. That one not the right throw, even if it was the right target.
Definitely had separation, but you're going to have to throw it in bounds. Doesn't matter how fast you are, you can't run out of the field. Mead looking to isolate McAllister out in the front. Points towards the end zone, and he's not afraid to send it. Oh, McAllister comes out of nowhere. It didn't look like he was favored to come down with that one, but reaches up into the clouds here in Belgium and snags that one.
Mead playing with some Babe Ruth swagger there, calling his shot, pointing out the home run, throwing it to the back of the end zone. And when you play with confidence like that, good things happen. That was a beautiful catch. Who brought that one in, Liam?
McAllister, Christy McAllister. One of the longest playing players of PELT again. Like those two players have played open a lot together, Andrew Mead and Christy McAllister. That was a trust throw. There was not much separation. Had to sky for it in the end, McAllister, but one of the top players coming out of Limerick for the last 10 years or so. We actually have caps in PELT. We record every time someone plays with the team. And there's about 7 of us with over 300 caps.
Wow.
Christy McAllister will be one of them now.
Where are you in that ranking?
I think I'm 7. I think Christy 3. I'm on 300 exactly.
Okay.
I'm part of the 300 club. There's only 7 of us I think in the 300 club. Yeah.
I think I saw a documentary about you. It's called 300. All right. Enough chit-chat. We're back on offense for Freiburg.
Zipper again.
And that is the direct answer. You throw a trust ball to your big man. We throw a trust ball to our big man. Trading points in the similar style. I love these shots on goal. Sometimes in the wind, you just need to give yourself a chance in the end zone. That's Arne Gross who got it. As I mentioned earlier, his last name means big. I believe he's the biggest man on the field. He's had a sort of storied career with the mixed beach German team, Sandsturm, which is a great team in Germany. And he was always sort of that deep target, that just throw it high and I'll do the rest.
Yeah, I remember playing them a lot. I played Ireland mixed beach for a long time. This would be going back 2013 kind of years, but I'm pretty sure I matched up against them there. That one almost doing like a double bounce in the air. And if George Hudson was actually good at defense, he would have got a block there, but that's what happens when you put an O-line handler on the D-line, you know?
Shovel Hands would have had something to say about that throw, I imagine.
Yeah. George has more hands of a flautist or tin whistle, maybe. Hands of a sewer.
keep workshopping it. You'll get there soon.
He's the hands of an accountant. So that's
the hands of an accountant, as the saying goes, as the old idiom would have it.
Great pull. Pinning PELT back in their own end zone now. And looks just like a straight match defense here from Freiburg. Looks like a forced backhand, quite flat. Sexton to McKeown. It's a Christine McKeown. Oh, and bounces off the hands of Martin.
Just getting picked up, going the other way by Kitchen. To Haas, last gen as he's known. Oh, and the big kick slide doesn't work out. Both teams trapping the other opponent on this far sideline, the low side of the field, and it works out for both of them. A lot of wind has picked up this point, and I think that's why the offense is getting a little bit sloppier here.
There's definitely great defensive intensity from both sides, and that's just making every throw a little more difficult to hit. Inkenhag getting loud on the sideline for PELT. Mead left in no man's land and puts another thruster out of McAllister. That is an incredible swing. Martin is in power position. Thinks twice about it. McAllister got up the line. Dishy backhand. Can we get the honey throw? Throwing to his fiancée, but that one not connecting.
Now, obviously they can't talk about whose fault that was for fear of starting something, but would you put that on the thrower or the receiver, Liam?
Oh, they're not even married yet, but we're causing some trouble there. I'm going to put on Christie.
Okay.
Because I feel like he won't get angry with me if I make fun of him.
And he's already had some highs in this game. He's due for some lows, you know?
Yeah. I think that shot was on. That crossfield quite difficult as the wind is going crossfield, so just carried it out of bounds.
Philip Haas picking up. He has these big hucks up in the wind if he needs them. Oh, and that is a total drop by Verheim. He just flubs it on the ground.
I think he was admiring how beautiful that swing was from Haas and just forgot to actually catch it.
He was giving the thumbs up rather than the pancake.
You see Andrew Mead. Oh, little tussle with the towel there. That's an accepted towel. Oh, and McAllister does it again.
And they are going the other way. Philip Kitchen on the run. Can he get it? Oh, and that is a glorious bid. His hat comes off, showing us his beautiful hairline.
He only laid it out like that because it was on stream. There's no way in hell he's trying that bit unless the camera isn't on.
Oh, he's giving the pre-stall. We are at European finals. What is the pre-stall, Liam? I've never seen it.
I think he can start at 10. Like it's. Yeah, he's not even putting the force on, so I don't think he can actually pre-stall.
Philip Kitchen, that was a glorious bid, showing his team that he's here to win. He was in Berlin last year.
I think it was on the ground before he even started. It was a great bid. I don't think he was ever catching it. Lost his hat. But yeah, the pre-stall. Yeah, we need to verify those rules again. I don't think you'd be doing it unless you're the person intending to put the mark on, and then is it 20 seconds you have if it's in the end zone or 10? I think it's like the playing. I think it's in the playing field. You have 10 seconds to bring it into play. Is that a hand block from Big Ben Martin? A timeout from Andrew Mead, who immediately dropped it afterwards. I think he intended to drop it on the ground as quick as he did, but he's going to stretch his calves by looks of it.
Forgot to wipe the towel that time, which is why the disc slipped out, I believe. As these two teams go to collect their thoughts, wave their pool noodles around, and talk it out, we'll take a quick break here in the booth. You can go refill your coffee cup, do whatever it is you're doing at home, leave some chats in the comments. We'll see you in a minute.
Welcome back to the European Ultimate Championship finals here in beautiful Belgium. The pool noodles are out because it is wet here. What's the name of the town we're in? I forgot where we are.
Oostende.
Oostende. I've been here about 10 minutes, so I'm kind of confused as to where I am in the universe right now.
Naturally, Oostende in the far west end of Belgium. I was a bit confused by that, if it was sort of a Spanish situation where it's Este and Oeste, but no, it's just East End. They've mixed up their sides.
The Oostende boys and the Oostende girls. I love that pool noodle. Pool noodle is just fun. So
fun, safe.
PELT calling a timeout there after kind of a turnover-heavy point, and the score is 6-3 to Disconnection. Just going to keep repeating that. So we've been having a few issues with the scoreboard, but not to worry. We'll tell you the score. It is 6-3 to Disconnection at the moment. PELT in possession now, coming out. They have to set up first the offensive team, so they're in a horizontal stack. Andrew Mead will be picking it up. And that towel was actually, I think, the player gift for European Ultimate Championships last year, which Andrew was not actually TD. He was TD the World Masters, but I think that's the towel he's using at the moment. But you see a lot of quarterbacks and stuff have towels. Andrew Mead definitely a quarterback for this team. Martin hits McAllister. Oh, is that Philip Haas?
Philip Haas getting the D, showing why he upset that we're making fun of his age on the commentary. He gets the big layout D.
I think he just turned over there. Doesn't matter. It's cool.
Still very cool. He's still got it. No doubt about that.
Hey, dad bods can fly in the air too, you know. Mead. Looks like he wants to throw the hook. Has to go for the swing and it pops out of hands. Haas with another block.
Philip Haas everywhere right now. He certainly wants this break. Pushing upfield to number 17, Verheim. Shooting on the end zone. And we are just seeing a bevy of tips, brushes, freestyle.
Yeah, the rain has started to calm down now. We had a little break from the heavy rain at the start of this game, but a little more water, a few more turnovers. Gets the easy under to Martin to kick things off. Christina McKeown to Emma Sexton. Great continuation. The tallest and smallest players on PELT combining. Sexton and Martin. Not a lot of options downfield. He's going to pull one up to Christina McKeown. Can she milk this one like a little dairy cow? Yes, she can.
Oh my goodness, that was an incredible play. Showing Philip Kitchen how the layout is done. You're supposed to do it while the disc is still in the air. Oh, and she is down. I hope she's okay after that beautiful play. And that felt like a make or break point for PELT there. They were down 6-3, needed that hold. It was a messy point, had to fight for it for many possessions. They've kept their hopes alive in this game, I'd say, with that beautiful grab in the end zone.
Yeah, and giving the team something to cheer about. Martin with a little old buttery biscuit here. Looks like it might have been too far, but hangs perfectly in the wind. Goes for kind of almost like a power slide. I think she was stuck between. That's a buttery biscuit to me. The origins comes from a guy Tim Moore used to call good throws a biscuit. And then I had Mark Early, one of the godfathers of Irish multiple, used to call a really nice backhand a buttery backhand. So I just kind of combined the two. All the best stuff for me has been stolen, just in case you didn't know that.
I'm gonna steal it myself and maybe butter your biscuit with jam or something. There's got to be a next iteration. So we're seeing here, I believe, a travel called at the beginning of this point. We have PELT coming out in a trap zone where they're really trying to force them onto this low sideline and keep them there. It's working so far in the outset, but it's early days here in this point. The big swing to the high side gets off and works out. Not the butteriest of biscuits, but it'll work nonetheless. Danny Dimes, Turk with the disc. We see a lot of people in this cup. It looks almost like a fourth person with that middle sneaking really close. They get it through. Feet and hands go flying like a choreographed dance routine. The huck goes off. Lassa misreads it, but it's floaty. Wow, Freiburg does well to catch up. Arne Gross settles under it, gives it to Laza. That looked like it was Peltz to get on the defense, but great hustle there from the Freiburg cutters, knowing it was going to float forever and making a play on it.
I think Arne Gross might have been like beside the disc that was thrown. I guess you just throw it high, it's probably going to end up in his hands. Maroney and one of the players talking there, I think it was deep was a Sullivan there, Dara Sullivan for PELT. It kind of just got hung up in the air instead of arcing back towards a lot of the other players on the field. And just, you see, where's Gross? Oh, he's coming. He's slowly working his way up. And you can see he starts to fade back over his shoulder. Sullivan doesn't get the right read on it. Gross was just hanging in the backfield, happy to take that one down. And I think PELT should be happy with the look. I think the zone was working well. I think they decided to go very tight, try and make them throw that deep shot. I think they've had success with forcing the deep shot for them. Disconnection, they'll be happy to score there, but it was a bit lucky at times. But they've kind of been making their own luck as well, Disconnection. Score now 7-4 to Disconnection.
7-4 to Disconnection. Disconnection out of Freiburg has established a really great ultimate program in the last couple of years. I believe they only came into existence 5-6 years ago, but they have something like 3 full teams at mixed practice every week, a first, second, and third team as one community. It's a small German city, and that's pretty unusual. So they've built something very special in Freiburg, and the fruits of their labor are paying off here on the first team.
You've seen that a lot in Germany. We'll be right in saying that Basket from Heilbronn, are they kind of a small community?
Like a collection of dwarfs in the south, yeah, around Heilbronn.
They do look like dwarfs now that you mention it. Yeah, but you've seen a few like little. Like Limerick is actually the same. It's a community of, feels like 30 to 50 players. At times it was 20 players, it was a bunch of friends at a college, so maybe comparisons can be drawn there. You see a Jack Mack on the sideline, Jack McNamara, coming here to presumably boo PELT. Sexton. McAllister. That one bouncing in the air, but Sexton watches it gracefully into her hands. Martin to McKeown, who unleashes that backhand yet again. McAllister can't get the footwork, but another beautiful throw to Sexton, who was everywhere in that possession. A clean hold for PELT.
Yeah, Sexton really taking over that point. Tell me about Emma Sexton.
Yeah, she's really stepped up her game the last few years. One of the more experienced player playing on the women's side for PELT. We've seen a kind of new, fresh crop of PELT women really kind of, as the male side slowly die off, the women are rising in comparison. And they came,
as in society.
Yeah, so the PELT also has an open team and a women's team. The women's team came third at Irish Nationals, which had been their highest placing so far. I think PELT came fifth, which was probably their worst ever, or worst in a long time. So it's kind of, you can see where the open and women's side is doing comparatively, but kind of now a mixed team at competitive level. That's what they focused their time on. And Emma Sexton, one of the leaders on the team.
Yeah, and she'd like to give a shout out to old Mary and Bill Sexton, her super fans. You can find them on the sideline or watching at home. Shout out Mary and Billy. Score now 7-5. Freiburg playing offense. A hold will take half. Their offense has been looking good the last couple points. They get it over to the high side. Looks like a person defense here. Beautiful break to Katja Weigel, one of these big athletic receivers. And that is a big hand block on the backhand to the flick side. Well done. Possession going the other way. PELT not wanting to give up the half just yet.
Ingenhag shuts the door. Oh, and straight out of the cookie jar. And you saw Hudson there. I just thought he was going to lash it, and I thought that would have been a good idea as well.
Well, that's 2 turns in about 10 seconds. Both teams getting a little bit antsy here. PELT will have another chance.
And this D-line for PELT, they need to be... George Hudson's picking up now as an incredible thrower, and would usually be on O-line in most teams. He needs to be sending it to deep straight away to Kieran Hudson. That's exactly what I think what they should be doing. Oh!
Katja Weigel with an incredible defense. So there's 2 sort of standout deep cutters on this Disconnection team. One is Katja Weigel. The other, of course, is Joanna Erdmann. And the saying goes, you throw it high to Katja because she'll come down with anything, and you throw it far to Joanna because she's the fastest. So that one floated up high. Katja proved why she's the deep threat. They're getting a beautiful D.
And that was a poach off. That was on our matchup. And reading it better than Roney. Oh, yes!
And that's a beautiful score from the European champion of last year, Jess Rühle, knocking it in. That's halftime for Freiburg. The score, 8-5. Getting several breaks in that first half. Smiles all around on the Freiburg side as they take it to half.
And I think PELT probably have the greater amount of break opportunities, but I don't think they've got any as far as I can tell. I like that idea from Hudson. I think Katja did an incredible job poaching back and helping deep. And maybe that situation was to hit the poached under player. But certainly looking deep straight off the bat from the PELT D-line I think is a good idea.
What'd you think about crossing over some players from the PELT O-line to help with all these break chances?
I think that's something they'll probably look at in the latter stages of the game, whether they have the legs for that. I think it's actually, the D-line been really good at generating breaks. I think they'll be happy amount of break opportunities they have. I think it's having maybe 1 or 2 stronger cutters on that D-line that when you do get it, you're actually able to grind it out and score a little more comfortably. Whether it's the likes of McAllister, Sexton's been playing well downfield, Christina McKeown. They also got to be thinking, PELT, they're 3 points down. You know, they could hypothetically lose this game and win against Heck. That could maybe be, you don't want to burn themselves out too early in the tournament, crossing over players. Got to try and manage the loads. I think they came into this game thinking they can win, but they don't maybe want to throw the kitchen sink at it just yet, though.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a long tournament.
And it's halftime here now as Disconnection take it at half. We're going to take a wee break and we'll be back with you in just a few moments' time.
On October 14th, 2024, the first ever World Beach Ultimate Club Championships will take place in Portugal. Follow the over 600 games as the scores update live online. And with free streaming from the Ulti TV arena, you can catch your favourite teams on your phone or from the comfort of your couch. Don't miss any of the action from Portimao.
Yes, he will. The lovely day.
Welcome back to the European Ultimate Championship Finals 2024 here in the lovely Belgium. Disconnection from Freiburg, Germany in the lead now 8-5. Liam Grant alongside Chris Gaffney. It's been a fun first half, Chris.
It's been super fun. We've been chatting on the sidelines of a lot of tournaments, sort of doing personal commentary just for each other, and it's really nice to be projecting out into the world to our presumably dozens or hundreds of viewers at home.
Yeah, I was always impressed with your, I guess, arena commentary at CFC. But UltiTV are going to be doing broadcasting at CFC this year.
Really?
Yes.
They're stepping on my toes.
Yeah.
Well,
surely you get to do the final or get some kind of commission or something like that.
I'll have a talk with Bastianira about that.
McAllister. As Pelt now on offense. Running a bit of a give-go with Ben Martin. Forced backhand from Freiburg, trying to trap him on that downwind sideline. But they've been gaining yards in that space. Pesh now eventually gets the shot off, and McAllister doesn't hesitate. Man, looks like he's plenty of time to run this one down. The big man takes it down with ease. That's where he does his best work in the end zone, Big Ben Martin.
Dare I say that was a buttery biscuit, was it not?
I think that was, yeah, and McAllister has a few of them in his locker. Got a big bag of McVitie's biscuits from McAllister there, and kind of playing their whole ultimate on that far side of the field.
What's interesting about this wind, Liam, is that it's basically completely crosswind going from the camera to the far side of the field. And so both teams trying to trap on that far sideline. But what it means for the throwers is if you can get that inside backhand up into the wind a little bit, it'll hang there forever. And that was really beautifully thrown to take advantage of that wind.
Yeah, I think the likes of McAllister, Mead and stuff, the right-handed players, they're relishing the opportunity to throw those open side backhand hooks, and I think they've executed them very well. And Pelt, you know, they've put defensive pressure on this Disconnection side. It's really been about converting, I think, has been their downfall. While Disconnection have been so good at converting their break opportunities, and that's when you have the likes of Philippas and other players. I think they may be a bit more experienced, a bit more just calm and composure with those break opportunities, but it's an offensive point for them now.
Yeah, and I think it's also just a measure of the depth of the team. Is if you can spare a thrower like Philippas on a D-line, that's a huge asset to have. A lot of people need those players on the O-line. So Freiburg going the other way on that low side, but working it nicely between the women. Getting the dump. A beautiful point so far, sort of textbook ultimate. Transitioning into their vert stack here on the goal line. One thing these German teams love to do, Liam, what I mentioned earlier, is this Hinterläufer. It used to be that you would throw a dump sort of towards the middle of the field with the goal of getting to the swing side. But these days you just sort of charge behind, and as soon as you catch it, you're throwing an unmarked break throw to the break side. The German teams love to do that. We saw it there.
Singapore do it all the time as well. Another country I see do it quite a lot. And there was a lot of controversy at the recent World Championships, juniors and senior level, of people actually calling a pick, following that person, and then the person on the mark preventing them coming into that space. We saw that happen a bit. And we've seen collisions happen in that space when you run directly behind them. Singapore go incredibly close. It's not even a 1 yard pass, but...
Wow, interesting. Sort of a handoff.
Yeah.
Hogan with the disc is a give-and-go master. He loves the small ball space. Back in his Fear Ferkel days, they would play sort of basically just a three-person offense, a little weave all the way up the field, and we can see a touch of that here. Peeling off is the defender to add pressure, and it hits the ground. Pelt with another chance for this break. Can they clean up their offense, and get their first break of this game?
Kieran Maroney has Mitchell going deep and just flutters a flick. That not well executed, and you can see that I think they decided to go for the hook and D approach, but the hooks have not been on point.
Yeah, my advice to them if I was coaching would be just try to get a couple passes under your belt. Just get 3 or 4 passes, even if it's not getting anywhere, just to sort of start a little movement. And then try to throw those hucks with power position. It's so hard to throw an upwind huck static. Arne Gross with the big over-the-shoulder catch, well brought in on the goal line. Nice little backhand. And just like that, the point is over. Scored by Pia Bankwitz from Arne Gross. And any thought of another break was quickly shut down as Disconnection marched it right up the field after the turn.
Great composure from Arne Gross. Kind of tractor beam some hands. Kind of had to look over his other shoulder there and did not have a lot of opportunity to adjust, and punches it in. Good follow-up play from Freiburg. And yeah, this has kind of been the story of the game, of Freiburg scoring their O's, but maybe on a second or third opportunity, Pelt unable to capitalize on break opportunities. Arne Gross owning the skies here in Belgium. And you love that play when the hook goes up. If you're the first person to react and maybe start running downfield before anyone else is, you can get, you know, a particularly easy score, and that's exactly what Freiburg did there. That'd be my role in the team, is let someone else do the big play and I'm just paying attention to it.
As we look at the Freiburg team here, Liam, it's always important to talk about fashion and wearables. Who looks good, what the styles are. The Germans really love these neck warmers. The culture is a big believer in sort of hot and cold and its effect on your physical and mental health. And they think these neck warmers, they're key to get them through these 3 days in the rough weather. Could be an advantage for them, and it could be centuries-old science that's not really medically relevant. Only time will tell.
Let's see Andrew meeting this now. McAllister again rips another backhand to Ben Martin, going for the deja vu play and casually catches it with one hand. That's exactly what they did last time.
Yeah, and pesky PELT are sticking around here. They refuse to go away. Both teams really seeming to enjoy playing these left to right points and really struggling to go right to left. So we might be protected here in our little tent. Seems to be that's sort of the dynamic of the wind right now, is if you can score going left, that's almost what a break is at this point. And here we see some sort of Celtic kneeling ritual near the end zone.
Yeah, and he's actually signaling what the gender matchup for this point is. That's Brian O'Sullivan. I think he's been given the task of monitoring the gender ratio, which is so hard to do, actually. If you're ever playing a game, you forget pretty quickly. It's good to have one player signed, and there it is. That big cannon of a backhand from Christian McAllister. And Ben Martin always goes casually one hand. I think a lot of people, coaches, will be saying go for two, but he catches every time, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, if you catch it with your teeth, catch it between your knees, pick it up off of someone else's back. As long as it doesn't hit a blade of grass, it's golden in my book. But if you drop it with one hand, I'm coming after you.
Yeah, that's fair. I see Inkenhag now with the pull.
I'm going to call it here, Liam. This will be the first PELT break this point. I feel something in the air. They've been building towards something. These two easy passes to midcourt, not making me feel great about the prediction. Here we are past the other team's goal line. Knocking on the door, taking away the around, but they get it off anyway. This looks like a different line than we've seen playing most O points so far. A bit of a D crossover, if I'm not mistaken.
Banquist is doing some amount of work there downfield.
A travel called, which will keep it on the sideline. Pia Bankwitz with the disc.
I think they're isolating their female players downfield, I think, Freiburg. Certainly off the pull play, there was two female cutters from Freiburg. Bankwitz is one of them, and they're maybe recognizing that kind of mismatch that they think they might have.
Turk catches it with an and one, gives up right back to Bankwitz. That's a nice two-person game. The old give and go. Well done, and my prediction, totally bunk, as Freiburg has maybe their cleanest O point of the whole game.
Yeah, both teams kind of finding their rhythm here, and that's fine for Freiburg. They've already done the hard work getting those breaks early on in this game. It's PELT that need to find a way to get a break, and the opportunities have been there. Bankwitz just looking to dish it off and use her legs to hurt this PELT team, and she's done that all game long. And yeah, if you feel like PELT can get one break, then I think they're likely to cross players over then if they can give their O-line a bit of a rest. You know, they're one break away from being right back in this game. The score now 10-7 to Disconnection.
Yeah, and frankly, if I see a few too many holds in a row, I get a little antsy. I'm looking for some comeback action here. Liam, you might not know this, but I'm a bit of a linguistic scholar and master of the German language. Bankwitz actually translates to bench joke or bank joke. So take that fun fact, do with it what you will, put it in your back pocket for later.
Knees. Coming on this horizontal stack, isolating Ben Martin on the under. McAllister has been putting on a hawking show and press for us, and Pesh Goes for the layout, but slams the ground into frustration.
Time for your second German lesson of the day. Pech actually means that's unfortunate, or sort of a bit of misfortune. So really the appropriate name in this situation, was für ein Pech, is he wasn't able to catch that disc in the end zone. Bet you didn't know you would learn so much today, did you, Liam?
Yeah, I understand his name now. It makes a lot of sense.
Bench joke.
What, there's a word that when
Misfortune.
your name suggests like your meaning of like your person, like Usain Bolt. There's like trying to think of what the word is. You're the linguistics expert. You should be telling me.
You're talking about nominative determinism,
That's
which
it.
I've been sort of obsessed with lately. Lawyers named Law, Lonzo Ball in the NBA. And that's a turn from Freiburg. Pelt with a short field. Sexton with the disc.
Back to Mead. Which you could argue his same with his name is Big Ben Martin. Towering in the end zone yet again.
Ben Martin just sort of living in that deep space, isn't he? He's got the trust of his throwers. They're just putting it out, and he's a big boy with neither the hands of a shovel nor an accountant, just the appropriate hands for catching in the end zone.
It's a normal man with normal hands, you know.
And a heart of gold, I imagine.
He's kind of a quiet character, Ben Martin. Like, wouldn't be well outspoken, but an incredible deep receiver. Actually, got very good throws as well. All around, incredibly talented player. His only flaw at times is maybe not getting more involved. That's the only criticism I'd nearly give him as a player. He's kind of doesn't like to impose himself too much. He's a very polite cutter at times. But you can see he's incredible when he gets involved. Tell me that when we get nominative.
Nominative determinism.
Yeah, who else could say that? I was going to say Andrew Mead. Mead is kind of like
Is he a big...
mead drinker, maybe, something like that. Or what else could you have? As a local politician, you could say Liam Grant. Grant, am I?
You giving out a lot of public money to the people?
That was literally all I did, yeah. Grants for Grant was my slogan.
Score here is 10-8 on the field. Another out-of-bounds pull. We see some frustration from the sideline. McAllister shrugging his shoulders, wishing that pull was in bounds.
And yeah, McAllister, man out of my own heart, you know, puts a lot of effort in how he should pull based on the wind and conditions. And that was the wrong choice of pull. That's McAllister's opinion. I might have to agree with him. And such a big part of the game, you know, getting a good pull and also feeling the pull. I think there's two parts of the game that are often overlooked, but this is a massive gift for Freiburg.
I agree. This is the kind of weather where you can really put out a blady backhand that nobody wants to catch. Arna Gross shooting it out to space to the deep threat Weigel. She's under it. There's pressure from both sides. Oh, and that is D from Kieran Maroney. Katja Weigel unable to bring it in, and great help defense there from the Irish.
As we see Maroney here, like a thief of the night, comes from out of your screen and just does enough to put her off. And that was a pull play. Gross coming flat across. I thought it was going to be a very quick score for Freiburg, but you know, Pelt need to convert when these break opportunities. A little more patient now. I think even just faking those deep shots now will maybe get them a bit of space. As we see, Sexton is on the field. He's been playing a lot of O-line. Hudson playing a bit safer now. That is a high pass and a foul being called there.
Looks like there was two matchups there under the disc, which was floating up to the break side. We'll see Hogan come in with the help defense and grab it. Let's see if there's contact here. Looks to me like he does well to wrap around that player and grab the disc. And I saw some contact from the female matching player, which I think didn't affect. How did you see it, Liam?
I completely agree. I think he got that clean, and maybe it was after he caught it. I think it's a retracted call. I think Kristen McAllister there has come in and just given the same perspective we had. I think she got contact after the play. Wasn't actually from Hogan, so I think that's the correct call and good spirit in the end.
Totally agree, and love to see them talking it out, getting to the right conclusion. As Freiburg go the other way. Turk with the disc. Stall count getting a little bit high, faking the lefty and finding Weigel upfield. The cute lefty to Hugin with the neck warmer to Turk. That throw's happened 100 times this game. The nice, beautiful around to Kemma, who throws the goal to Jess Rula, and that is a well-done point from Freiburg. I thought that was the best PELT had looked on their D-line offense, Liam, so far. Unfortunately, that one just got picked up by the wind, but what did you see?
Yeah, I agree. And that shot to Sexton was just floated a bit too high from Hudson. But I think as they've hooked the last few times, Freiburg were maybe expecting it, and they kind of faked the hook and actually took the undershot. So creating a bit of space is there because they were maybe expecting the deep throw. But yeah, it's just not good enough from the D-line offense from PELT. Unfortunate. They've done everything in terms of generating pressure and breaks. They look like a top team when it comes to defensive pressure, but the D-line has not found its groove at all here. They've mixed up the personnel a little bit, tried hucking it, tried playing it short, and just can't come up with the answers here. And Disconnection been so good. Particularly, I think their female matching player is gaining yards under. I think that has been their big success, and that's not something you always see in the stat sheet. You know, we've seen in the US sometimes they do like the box stats of how many yards you're getting. I'd love to see how much yards the likes of Bankfits and other players have actually generated, particularly just open side unders, which have been devastating for the PELT D-line team.
So 11-8 here, Freiburg up as we're getting into the end game here.
I see another pull drifting out of bounds, and with this crosswind you can't throw an arcing backhand because you're showing the other side of this to wind, and it's so hard to gauge that. A gust comes in and pushes it out. I think that's the wrong angle, or at least you got to put it way left if you're doing that. But so PELT get the gift of a brick this time. Sexton has stayed out there and punishes the post straight away with a beautiful shot to McAllister, who wants to run the give-go. Mead patiently waits. This is a high one to Martin. And running amok here, the PELT side. Oh, and Martin with an unforced error.
Running amok, but then mucking up the throw there. Unforced error. There's some discussion up the field.
You wonder how what happened downfield affected Martin. Unless it was quite a while ago, he maybe would have not thrown it. I'm a little surprised it's not being discussed further, and the argument of it didn't affect the play, but
it's one of these sort of butterfly effect theories, which is, you know, if I had cut here, you would have run there, would have changed my mind. But there's the score. PELT knock it in.
Hannah Wilson with the goal, and they've been doing it on offense in this second half. They're trying to get pumped up here. And in fairness, I actually think the discussion between the teams has been great. I think a lot of any kind of unusual situations, they've discussed it really well, came to resolution. So we can't tell exactly what the call was there, what the discussion was, but I think there's been great respect between the two teams in this matchup.
Liam, we've been talking a ton about the wind this game, about the pulls in the wind, about the throws in the wind, about these unforced errors. You want to hear my hot take on the situation? Top grass players need to be going to more fun beach tournaments to learn how to play in the wind. They think we're just a bunch of deviants going to drink mojitos and mess around on the sand, but I actually think it really teaches you a lot about how to play in the wind on PELT's D. And I really think it would be a great idea because a lot of teams, they practice in one place where the weather is fairly consistent, and then you show up to Belgium at the end of the year and it's just this windy, crazy other world. And so I'm advocating for all the top players to come to Copatanga, come to CFC, come to Dr. Sand, and learn to throw in the wind a little bit.
I think we saw that with the Spanish teams actually in Limerick last year. Did really well in windy conditions. I think throwing that kind of granddad backhand in the wind is always something you love to see. I think we've seen Hugen do it quite a bit as well.
And there it is again, big yards under from Weigel. As you were talking about earlier, these female Freiburgers just chewing up major meters. Weigel doing work. She's free again. Look at it again. A big 25-meter gainer chewing up the field. She's doing major work. Another cute lefty. Turk on the disc. And that was a very easy point from Freiburg. Really showed that they have the legs. Yeah, just beautiful work. Beautiful mixed ultimate. they've figured out this wind a bit, and like you said, it's these female players just getting big unders.
Yeah, I think PELT needs to adjust there. I think they don't have a matchup for Weigel right now, or some of the other playing honest defense against her is a bad idea. You maybe need to do what we've called in the game a fem zone, maybe a bit of bracketing with some of the female matching players. One person taking open side under, one taking deep. You can see there she had about 10 yards of separation when it was thrown, and by then she's about 20 yards of separation. There's nobody who seems to hang with her on the PELT side, so you got to do something else. If you can't shut them down with your legs, you got to make tactical decisions. Maybe one of the male matching players is helping out in a certain way, poaching in the lane, switching. It's never good when you're maybe can't keep up with someone's legs to keep chasing them around, because then you're not really taking anything away.
Yeah, and especially when the wind is sort of this helpful 8th defender, I think you can get away with junking up the downfield space a little bit more than usual. So the score here, 12-9 for Disconnection. As far as we know, game to 15. And the Freiburgers coming out with another D point, Philip Kitchen to pull.
This blading backhand, the exact same situation again, and you got to be kicking themselves, Freiburg. It's the wrong pull choice for me. I do think the backhand roller pull, you can do it. It has to be way he started off in the middle of his own end zone and kind of aiming for the middle. It just drifted out to the right. You can actually throw it much lower. It doesn't even have to be that high. You can land it nearly at the brick mark, blading, and it's probably going to roll out the back or roll out the side. He showed too much of the underside of that disc to the wind, and gifts PELT a good field position to start off this offensive point. And a bit of junk downfield for Freiburg. Definitely playing a bit of a zony look to start things off, and as they've been doing all day long, PELT just grinding up the field with ease against the junky defense. Oh, an accepted foul call. It was a great defensive effort. Tries to put his hand in the cookie jar, but this goes back to McKeown, who shoots that inside one. And now drifting out of space, McKeown has plenty of time to go down, and she gets her second goal of the game. It looks like it's going to be called back.
I think there was a call in the middle of the field maybe 2 throws ago. PELT really sliced through that zone wonderfully. They didn't give him a chance to set up at all. Just working it right through. Tuck, tuck, tuck.
Yeah, and particularly like a zone junky look, a good idea, but when you brick the pull, Andrew immediately had time to even assess, hey, this is going to be junk. They were kind of already deciding what was going to happen before they even touched the disc in.
So there we see the foul in the middle of the field, I believe accepted, but those midfield players stopped playing. I don't think it affected.
I think that's the discussion now. I think they've all have resolved what actually happened in terms of a foul, but did it affect the play is now the discussion taking place.
So it looks like they're retracting and doing the sort of one throw continuation.
You can see there Chris McAllister involved in the contact. 100% a foul, or definitely see the Freiburg players' assessment of the situation. See that collision there, kind of caught in a sandwich almost, McAllister. Not sure who initiated contact, but I don't think it affected the play, to be honest.
I agree.
Okay, they're going to let us stand with Ben Martin, so they're allowing that first pass off, but pick being called. So just going to stay with Martin. And conditions clearing up a little bit. The rain has stopped. Still that stiff cross-shore wind. McAllister throwing lots of fakes. Ben Martin milking into the end zone. Another beautiful goal for the big man, who's just been absolutely everywhere in the second half.
The score now 12-10. It's really been feeling like Freiburg's been in charge for such a long time, but it really is quite a close game. Only those couple early breaks in the first half, the difference here. Liam, you just came straight from Australia, which I'm sure was a really wonderful experience, and saw the top ultimate in the world. What were your reflections on that, and what's your sort of judgment of how the world compares to Europe these days at ultimate?
the world, like, there wasn't even that many Asian teams there. Like, even for, like, Singapore was there, they've come up a lot. India looked very good, and that was a second string India team. They actually sent their best players to play beach ultimate because they kind of favour that. I think India is probably the country I'm seeing as the next big up-and-coming nation. It's often the problem is fielding teams to them, is can their best players afford to go. I think, you know, next big world cycle or one next big event, I think India are going to do some damage. They look good at the start of the tournament, just ran out of legs. France have been, you know, growing throughout the year, as we've seen them with multiple world championships at juniors and beach levels. So, yeah, Europe looking good. The rest of the world, I think Singapore and India making statements. I was really having high hopes for New Zealand, but they kind of didn't really have it together. They had a fantastic pull.
There we go, finally in the back of the end zone. Let's see if that helps PELT get this break they so desperately need. Pressure here on the goal line and a full field to go, and yes, it does work. The disc going to ground, but Deed with the extra effort, keeping it close and a short field for PELT. They so desperately need this to bring it in within one.
It's all about that pull, isn't it? It's all about the pull.
It's all about the pull. You've been saying it all game.
And that is a break for PELT. Jack Mitchell with the kick spike. They're trying to isolate the front of the end zone. Couldn't get it off. Ingenhog just steps around and throws a tasty backhand. And PELT are back in this one. 12-11 the score now. Just 1 point in it. That's the first break of the game for PELT. And I think it all started with that pull. You know, don't give them any easy yards. Put them under pressure. They get the short field turn.
And this was just beautifully caught here. It was climbing the ladder. A little bit of wind under that disc, but brings it in, and his team needed it. And I think I'm a spike skeptic usually, but in this game where you've been just struggling so hard to get that break, point after point after point, and to finally punch it in to come within one, I think it was a well-deserved moment. How do you take it?
And he's a great Gaelic footballer. It's actually kicking a ball out of his hands is something he used to do quite a lot. So nice clean collection on the kick spike there. You love it. I think they need it because they get it pumped up now, and like they've shown that nearly every point they've got a break opportunity. The D-line has certainly generated a lot of turns from the O, so they can certainly do this if they just find ways to convert. That's their first conversion. Sticking with a straight D-line as well, I thought this would be the opportunity to maybe cross players over. I think they have timeouts left as well, PELT. We'll see.
But this has proven the harder direction to score. Let's see if Freiburg punch it in or if they also struggle in this sort of upwind dynamic. So they're on the low side of the field. Not a lot of action upfield. A high disc. Oh, Katja Weigel brings it in beautifully on the sideline. That was a big save. I thought that was going to be a turn. Can they get it off this trap sideline? That's the question for me. The swing to center. Erdmann looked off, back to Turk. Anna Gross doing work. They're almost at their own brick mark. Now they are. Turk with the inside flick, well caught by Erdmann, the athletic star. Dumps it to Anna Gross, the Hinterläufer as we talked about, and the beautiful back continue. That was very beautifully done. Good patience by Freiburg, good connections, and a nice textbook dump swing break. The score, 13-11, disconnection. Not phased by the pressure of getting broken. They answer back nicely.
Yeah, the Hinterläufer. That's the first time I've heard that word. Definitely going to steal it. What does it directly translate to?
The behind run. It's a literal language, you know?
It is a little language. It sounded a little more poetic, Hinterläufer.
I think it was really... It almost feels like it was sort of pulled out of the ether by Nico Müller, the sort of legend of German Ultimate. He was the only person doing it for years until after watching enough footage we figured out, hey, we could try that. We could practice that. And actually, last year there was a good bit of Wall City crossing over to the national team for the first time. And I think a lot of people picked it up there from their sort of playing with Nico Müller. And now it's being sort of spread throughout the German community like Johnny Appleseed.
All communities are like that.
Jan Appleseed.
Every nation you'll see Singapore juniors team, they play the exact same offensive structures as the seniors teams. All the clubs, you watch the Australians, what they do, Colombians. It's funny, you know, you get one or two coaches or one or two players can have a massive influence on the style of a nation.
Yes. I'd like to think I had a big impact on the nation of America before I left.
Martin now leading one out into space. Sexton catches casually. Hits McAllister in the middle. Again, this kind of soft zone from Freiburg, not putting under much pressure. And Martin again with a wayward pass. They're going to send it straight away.
Ollie Jung rips it. Read poorly by Kitchen, not able to bring it in, and that's Mead with the D.
Not sure where Kitchen was going there. Just completely lost it. Continued his cut, but never actually found the disc in the air. Martin has the easy shot to Mead. He'll be looking to quarterback the offensive here. McAllister gesticulating, hits McKeown. Looking to get the give-go honey move. That a high disc to Martin, who usually has come down with them, but bounces off his hands. And you know, Pelt need to score these somewhat, let's say, crosswind downwind points on O. They need these if they want to get back in the game.
And here we see another chance. Oh, and it is given right away on the goal line. Pelt snatch it out of the air. Yet another chance from within 5 meters. Can they punch this one in?
McAllister was waiting in the long grass, read that one. Sexton might be calling something here. I think just a slight collision downfield, and takes a moment to get her breath. Steady herself, and can Pelt steady this ship? Have stayed within touching distance for the length of this game. They'll be hoping to push it all the way. That one a dangerous throw to Andrew Mead, who hustles to the back of the end zone and called in by the opposition. Some beautiful kick spikes again from Andrew Mead.
That one looked more like a sort of kick spike of relief rather than a kick spike of joy. He reeled that one in nicely on the back line, but that's a hold. They're happy to have it. 13-12. This is a tight game. We see here Kitchen, the man who couldn't quite bring that read in.
You see two of the big offensive Ola and handlers for Pelt there. Tino, McKeown, and Andrew Mead is talking about how they want to set things up. That's not exactly how they drew it up, but some fancy footwork from Mead at the back of the end zone. Right-handed, but left-footed, I think, Andrew Mead. He's got plays a bit of footy as well. Do a good left curler free kick.
He can bend it like Beckham?
Something like that, yeah.
Wow. I was under the impression that everyone in Europe played footy. Is that not right?
It's weird. Like, for football, for us, is almost Gaelic football, which would be bigger in Ireland. The biggest sports in Ireland are Gaelic football and hurling, our native sports, which actually lend themselves very well to Ultimate. A lot of the best Irish Ultimate players come from that. You do a lot of match marking defense. Hurling, you have a stick in your good hand and you catch with your offhand. So you get very good at catching with your offhand. There's a few little things like that that transition well.
Interesting. So we see Lasse Hugin with the disc, the old wily veteran with every throw. Gets it to Danny Dimes, Turk, and Arne Gross. Those names we've heard a lot of touches in the backfield together. We see nobody guarding the dump as they prefer to clog up the lane.
And this force middle FSU zone from Pelt. You see Christian McAllister crossing over from the O-line to go be in that handler space, and he gets the block.
Amazing. Daniel Turk floated that one out. It floated over the head of his receiver. He could have caught it, but he knew he was not allowed. And this, a short field for Pelt to tie it up.
I knew McAllister was going to send it. I knew he was. Christie was going to throw the end zone first pass. The option was maybe there, but just threw it out of bounds. Frustration for the whole Pelt side. A little trigger happy maybe there. But I'd like to see him crossing over, and he got the block.
Here we see that floaty disc from Turk. Gave them the chance that Pelt decided to not take. But they've got them in good field position, trapped on this corner.
But if you watch, it is a forced middle, so it is forcing him to try big swings like that.
And the wind just takes it, floats out of bounds. Another short field for Pelt to tie this game up.
I don't know why they haven't been doing this all game long, particularly with how easily the female players are doing on match defense Freiburg. I think Pelt should be playing the zone the whole game long. And there to convert, and that is another break to tie the game. McAllister
showing he can do it all, this time with the punch spike in the end zone as they tie the game 13-13. What a comeback from Pelt here late, showing a lot of heart to stay in it down 2 this whole game to finally bring it back to tie. They have the momentum now. Freiburg will have the disc. And we're in a game-to-2 situation.
An absolute barn burner of a game. I think Pelt got to look like maybe calling a timeout. Looks like a timeout's being called here. Rest their players, get the strongest players out there. And look, McAllister looks tired now. I'd put him deep in the zone. Keep the zone out there. It's not too tiring to play with his own defense as he roasts his player up the line like a fine coffee. Full of beans, this man. A big moment here from Pelt. And you felt like if they just stayed within touching distance, they had a few breaks in them.
Who's the leader of this Pelt huddle, do you think? And what are they saying to their team right now?
I imagine it's Christy McAllister talking, and a lot of profanities. That's what I'd be doing if I was him. Obviously, Hannah Wilson as well, I think, imparting some advice.
I always found as a speech giver that as soon as the camera's in there, I cleaned up my language a little bit. even if the audio's not there, some people can read lips at home. I like the timeout here because it sort of makes Disconnection sit in their mistake. You know, they would love to just quickly answer back and be back in charge of this game. They're receiving, so they're in the power position, but having just been broken twice recently, I imagine they're in their own heads a little bit more and a bit more nervous about these last 2 points, whereas Pelt is sort of with the momentum and on the bounce.
Yeah, and that zone from Pelt has looked good all game. A couple of times Disconnection has hucked out of it, but they weren't hucks there particularly on. They were 50-50 hope balls where Gross usually comes out of them. They might do that again when you have such a great big receiver, but particularly playing match defense against the Freiburg O-line women has been a disaster for Pelt. They haven't been able to keep them, so I think stick with zone. Try and have your best players out there if you can afford to put them in somewhere in the zone where it's not running them too much.
There we see the sideline, all smiles from Freiburg on the outside, but wonder if there's any nerves on the inside, as this is their chance, a very important point. Who will get the advantage in this game? Daniel Turk. As we hear, it's a zone defense again, doing as you said, Liam. We've got good old shovel hands in the deep space in case anyone throws any high stuff to Gross or to Weigel. Kitchen on this near sideline, centers it beautifully, and they are through the zone. Can they push up? Hugin to the end zone to Adman, and that is a beautifully weighted throw from midfield to the athlete, Joanna Adman, and that is a calm, composed answer after the timeout from Freiburg.
Some exquisite throwing there from the Freiburg O-line. And that's what they've been playing against the zone, is actually threading through the middle with great precision. Not easy to do against the zone, particularly those long, 20, 30 meter passes through the middle of the zone. It's very difficult to execute. You can see there, Mitchell throwing himself around like a big sack of spuds. And once that first throw was off and the mid was on the ground, you feel like Freiburg are going to capitalize. They do just that. Nice clean hole. So 14-13 the score now. It is game point to Freiburg. Can they break to win it, or can Pelt take this to a universe point game?
And as we see on the replay, I love how they're set up there with their 2 dominant female cutters spread really wide. So as soon as they get it anywhere in the middle of the field, that deep is just guarding the whole width of the field with 2 very dangerous cutters. So Pelt needing to hold on to this game to force universe.
And they owe it to all the neutral fans here to bring this game to universe.
Absolutely.
That's what everyone wants. Apart from, I'm sure the fans from Freiburg don't want that, but everyone else wants to see this one go to universe point.
It's not always the case that Friday pool play games are must-watch TV, but this is as close as we get right now.
Mead. Looks off the shot to Martin and throws one high in the sky. Even McKeown in blown coverage stays focused and watches that one into her hands. Goes back to Martin now, who thinks about the shot to the end zone. Tino McKeown moving the force around. Has the easy shot to Sexton, and we're going to Universe Point here, folks. Sexton prances her way into the end zone. Not sure if that was a celebration they'd planned, but Inkenhog Sexton getting pumped up here. Universe Point.
And Sexton has been everywhere all game for this Pelt team, fitting that she should be the one to punch it in to bring us to Universe Point. Both these teams have been playing very consistently through their sort of top 5 or 7 players. We're hearing a lot of the same names over and over, and it's been a really evenly matched game, really fun to watch. I think the strategy has been Pelt figuring out that they need to play zone to slow down these athletic cutters, maybe figuring out a little too late, but they've got it now, and this will be obviously a huge point as we're at Universe.
Yeah, big decision now. It's going to be Universe Point lines. Do Pelt go zone? Do they stay with a match if they have the strongest 7? Can they afford to do that? I think having a good pull, I think, has shown it makes a big difference in these windy conditions. Freiburg, it's a mental game for them. Their O-line has looked incredible at times. You feel it's the destiny is in their own hands. It's kind of a little bit upwind, but it's mostly crosswind, but a tad bit upwind for them.
What makes this Freiburg team so dangerous from what I've seen so far is there's the explosiveness in the cutter space, but also this cool, calm collectedness in the handler space. It's not necessarily the 3 people you want to play zone defense against in the handler space because they work it together so nicely. But you can only take away 1 or 2 things on a D point. And here I'd say it's more heart than strategy. It's who's gonna punch this one in.
And it seems like the same 7 we've seen on offense all game long from Freiburg. Pelt just seemingly crossing over Chris McAllister, who's done it a couple of times. Christina McKeown is crossing over. It's been playing mostly O-line handler. Emma Sexton has been doing a bit of double duty. But it kind of everyone else been a pure D-line, so Universe Point here.
We see a vert stack from Freiburg. The zipper play that they've been running all day. Don't throw it to Admon this time. Hugin finds Gross on the far side. Big wind-up backhand, goes to the end zone to Weigel, the deep threat who's been playing well so game, and it falls just short. The wind's knocking it down. No, 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 says Steph Rapazzo on the sideline. Pelt have a chance to win this game, Liam.
Anna Gross goes for the big lofty backhand. Pelt with a possession to win the game. This would be, I think, the first time to be in the lead if they were to score. Maroney marching up to the front of the end zone on a vertical stack here. Some poaching in the lane, a little bit from the Freiburg female matching players. Looking to isolate McAllister straight away. Sexton is completely free. Playing a dangerous game here, Pelt. Inside their own end zone now. Not a lot of options downfield. Eventually hit the poach Wilson. McAllister. Big buttery rackhand break. Team McKeown, it's tipped.
Oh my goodness, and this Pelt D-line offense has been their struggle all game. They can't make it happen on Universe on the first effort. Hugin with the disc in the short field looking to put this game away. Anna Gross, the man who just turned it on the goal line. Looking, finding, probing, and he finds Admon in the goal line for the win. Freiburg, just as they started, they finish with a dirty hold. Pelt have given it their all. They are on the field and collapse. What an incredible fight from Pelt, who had a chance. Oh my goodness, what a game.
And Freiburg storm the field in celebration. The Limerick team fall to the grass. They fought hard, but just came up short in the end. A fantastic game of mixed ultimate for both sides. But it's Freiburg who take the win. Pelt had their shot. But I think it was Bonkfitz who was on the money to get the block in the lane and just given a second opportunity here. And just jam it in the jam hole.
But like you said, anything could happen in this mixed division. These teams are on track to finish anywhere between first and fourth in their pool, honestly. But I think if PELT can get a win and hold on to third, they're not a team I'd want to see in a crossover. I think they're a good, strong team, still in this tournament. It's still early days. Freiburg, on the other hand, proving they're a contender. I think they're up there with the best. It was an incredible game. Liam, I had a great time commentating with you. Thanks for welcoming me here into the booth. It's been a fantastic game. Friday at EUCF. Stay tuned for more action at this beautiful tournament as we crown champions in Europe for the 3 divisions. Great game.
That's a fucking great game. I was like, hey, this is actually really good.
Yeah. I like the 2 teams system a lot.
Yeah. I can bring out the A game next time. I'm a bit fucking zonked, but
Oh, you were good. You were great.
yeah.